Hello, it's me again. Wacky, Snappers Forum, Snappers Heaven, whatever you want to call me. Well, excuse me, I put my phone away. Thought I'd give you my advice, my views on what works for me. But what can I say? Oh dear, there's just so much advice out there with some very conflicting viewpoints, with the purists insisting that the only way is their ways. Others saying, ooh, why did you do that? Or more colourful words when seeing your work. Here are a few snippets that have worked for me or not, as the case may be at times, and I do not state their gospel. Far from it, nor that they're the only way to do things or the way things should be done. Far from it. What works for you, works for you. But you may want to try what works, in my experience, and see if you like it or not. Get it right in camera is the first thing to talk about. Well, yes and no. We all know that sweet feeling of getting the shot, the one that's just perfect. Well, perfect to us until we see it on computer screens or in print. But for the majority of our mere mortals, that does not always happen for many reasons. From that cloud that suddenly appears out of nowhere, darkening the shot, to the wasp that decides to chase you from the comfy position laying on top of the barbed wire fence whilst trying to balance the need to actually breathe, making the camera shake and so on. Not to mention the sudden urgent need to cross your legs and think, I've got to go to the toilet. But being aware what is around your subject and learning something about the functions on your camera can help. It could be a continuous mode for moving subjects, you know, the ones that run like dogs, cats, people, trees and wind, to help produce blur. But then again, blur might be an effect you're looking for, as it is quite popular, especially with edits these days. But saying that, we do not always have the luxury to adjust our cameras for those that shoot manually. I have all them, buttons on our cameras that we twiddle with. Yes, I do show auto a fair bit of the time because I find it easier. I haven't got the time to be shooting manually all the time, especially if I know the subject's going to move or I'm going to fall over, as I do have a medical condition that makes me fall over frequently. But that's another thing. That's getting right in camera. Rule of thirds, though. Cannot say enough about this. It is a pretty good one. It does help with composition and getting things to look right. On many occasions, it will help get the composition of pictures looking spot on much easier. But go to the forums, snappersforum.co.uk. there's lots of tutorial videos there, totally free, gratis, to explain it a lot better than I can and give you an idea of what I'm talking about. If you learn nothing else about taking pictures, rule of thirds for me personally, I think is an important one. It just makes them look a bit better. Okay, a phrase I have on take pictures, excuse me when I get comfy, is, oh, I can work with that. That means when I'm looking at things, I feel it do not quite work for me as a shot, I think I can work with that in my editor, such as tweaking the light, converting it to black and white. I am a fan of black and white images. Enhancing detail. This is all very personal, how you like a picture to look when it's printed or displayed anywhere. But it works for me, giving me some good results, and it takes the need to constantly, that's not quite right there. Oh, no, I can't take that. But then, of course, I suppose you can go to Upstream and snap everything, and you end up winning a lot of photographs, using up your SD card. Another thing to do, people say, is think about the shot. Okay, right. Yeah, fair enough. Alright, how long for? Will that bird on the tree, with the sun in that position, looking at me, stay in that position while I contemplate this shot? Sorry. Sarcasm not an attractive trait, is it? Seriously, it depends on the situation and the subject. Light, etc. Great. others not so great. Hence, getting to know what's called the continuous mode in your camera for moving objects, and for me, carry a compact at all times, gives you a better chance to grab that opportunity to snap anything and everything you get the urge to take a picture of. Carry a spare battery and card. Oh yes, been caught out with not doing this. Now I carry a compact camera in my handbag at all times. I'm female because I don't always want to cart around my DSLR days out, because I do photography for pleasure. Don't make any money out of it. Oh please, I'd like to make money out of it, but I enjoy it. I enjoy getting my DSLR out, using different lenses, because for me, that is what I think about when I take pictures of, because it's dedicated. But when you're out and about, you're going to see things. Carry a compact. Even with that, I carry a spare battery and a spare SD card. I have been caught just as that beautiful shot comes along. The battery's dying. Am I going to get it? That little red light flashing in the corner of your screen. No, not good. Similarly, if your SD card's full, you're buggered. You can't do anything with it. You'll take your pictures, and you get that message flashing up. SD card full, memory full, not insufficient error. Now, before you go out of a time, always check your batteries full before you leave the house, car, caravan, boat, whatever. Check your SD card. Have you deleted the pictures of it that you've already downloaded? But we'll come to that in a moment. Have you got a spare formatted SD card in your pocket, in your bag, in your camera bag? Checklist before you order that and go into the loo, of course, and washing your hands, put a coat on. Okay, on to checking your photos are downloaded from your SD card or your camera before formatting it. Oh yes. Caught out. Downloaded a load of photographs, at least I thought I had, into Lightroom, and look, yeah, fine, all done. Format, put it back in the camera, formatted it. Now this was after I'd done it previously and had it automatically to format the card in the computer after I downloaded the photographs. I did it again this time, didn't I? Kind of dumb. Wrong. Didn't work. Went to work as a photograph I knew I'd taken, and I'd lost a lot of pictures that way. Swear box was seriously overflowing. Not very good. Can't stress that enough. Check it. You don't want to lose pictures you think you've taken through a mere lapse of a couple of seconds in your life. Another thing works for me is key tags. Key tags, I'm not going to talk about keywords and meta tags. Now, I now use Lightroom 6, having worked my way up from, I think I believe started with 4, was it 5? Can't remember. 5, I started with Lightroom 5, sorry. I'm still a mere novice. I'm learning something new most days with it. And I found out very quickly the importance of these. It makes it so much easier to search for and find the images in the library on Lightroom. It's a real time saver, and I have in excess of 15,000 pictures. Yes, I've been doing it a little while. Over the years, granted I haven't always edited them, and I just stuck them on the computer and done nothing with them up until recently. Go to the forum, snappersforum.co.uk, go to the editing section, and you'll find plenty of free video tutorials on the importance and how to use and how to put them in Lightroom. You could also add these in Photoshop Elements and Photoshop and I am assuming, because I do not know, in GIMP and other photo editors, they are very useful. I'm not saying you should do it or you must do it, but in my opinion, I have found them helpful. Even if you just put the month and year in, it narrows things down. Just put the month and year down in the meta tags and keywords in itself is useful, because in years to come when you look back, you think, when did I take that? What year was it? Oh yes. You know. Especially as your years advance and your memories coming. Right. What do you do your photographs after you've got them computer up and edit them and what have you? Back up, I say. What do you say? Back up. No, send this. That's done it. Sorry, these returns. This goes back to my computing days. Well, my youth, in my 20s. I ran a computer department for a major diesel engine company in the UK, and prior to that for reinsurance companies and insurance companies in London. I was taught from early on in my career in computing the importance of backing up the systems. It was done daily, and in those days the computers were the size, well in fact bigger than the average family car are these days, and less powerful than my current laptop. And we used giant reels of tape, you know, the ones you see in the black and white movies and early Bond films, on lots of big tape reel-to-reel things, 2400 foot long, 3600 magnetic tape it was called, and it took hours and hours. And you'd find me asleep in the canteen overnight whilst the tapes did their magic, and we stored them off site for safety. Nowadays it's a lot simpler. You can buy these little storage things, USB sticks, back them up. Whenever you work on your photographs, back them up separately. Keep them separate from your computer. Now, every time you do this, you should, in my opinion, be doing this every time you go near them, every time you breathe them. But even so, I say that, but I'm not as religious as I should be, and I have been caught out once or twice for mental note to start. Put a reminder on the calendar, on pop-up screen, to do it every time. At least try to remember to do it every time. Otherwise, it's heartache all round. You really don't lose all your pictures. That, so far, is what works for me. I hope some of what I have found works for me works for you too. But it's up to you to find what is right for you. Visit the forums, look at the video tutorials, and enjoy. After all, photography should be a pleasure. It's a way of preserving memories in time, moments, nanoseconds in time, to enjoy and bring pleasure in the decades to come. Goodbye, and I shall see you soon.